estamos bailando. Tu boca y la mía felices gozando. Vas moviendo la cintura, sube la temperatura. Yo te regalo mi universo, ya no lo pienses más. Oye, déjame curarte este mal de amores. Me duele verte llorar. Oye, él te trata mal, yo te traigo flores. Dame una oportunidad. Déjame decirte, mami, una cosita. Yo te doy lo que tú necesitas. Solo quiero que tú seas mía. Quiero hacértelo. La luna yo te bajaré. Mi corazón te lo daré. Conmigo vas a enloquecer. Yo quiero estar contigo. Oye, déjame curarte este mal de amores. Me duele verte llorar. Oye, él te trata mal, yo te traigo flores. Dame una oportunidad. Oye, él no te quiere, no sabe cuidarte. Oye, yo tengo un mundo para darte. Yo solo quiero cuidarte. Oye, mueve la cintura. Oye, que seas mía toda la vida. Solo eso quiero.
Speedy, welcome to the show for everyone. This is Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. You're welcome to Speedy Sports on this Thursday, a beautiful, beautiful Thursday. Not as hot as other days, but a little bit hot. This is the season. But here in the sports studio, we're hot because we're bringing you stories that you may never hear anywhere else. We bring you from authentic sources. So sit back and join us. When we open our phone lines, we'll give you the number soon so that you can be a part of the conversation because we're discussing very, very hot issues here. From the world of football, scandal involving match fixing, it's somewhere in Kenya, and then some other things happening. In the world of football, the FIFA Club World Cup around the corner, transfer window opening, and then suddenly it's opening the doors for other clubs to sign within 10 days of the first few days of the transfer. But we'll explain details of that to you. And in Miami, some people are happy, some people are sad. A lot is happening. My name is Ted. I don't do this alone. I'm here with my striking partner,
Benjamin Kuji.
Good evening, Ben.
Yeah, good evening, Ted.
Today hasn't been as hot as other days. A little bit.
Today, I think today is manageable. From the morning, the weather was not as hot as it
used to be. Yeah. I was thinking maybe we should be expecting rain. The month of March is almost getting over.
Very, very soon we'll start seeing the rain.
Okay, so that even the pitches and the tops that are exposed to be a little bit grown back.
Yeah.
Welcome to the program. Of course, there are some issues in the world of tennis. We'll start from tennis in Miami. The games are going on. We'll be monitoring some. And people who are trying to make some records. Novak Djokovic has a game much later on today, trying to have his 100th win in Miami, not just in Miami alone, 100 wins. He's been a 7-time champion there. He has a record. He's a man to beat. Because all the big boys are out. But you still have, the likes of Medvedev and Zverev and most of those American sensations that were having the backup of the home support are out. But you still have the likes of Taylor Fritz and then at the fields that there the games are going on. So Novak still has a very big competition before he dreams of getting to that finals. In the ladies category, we've had the likes of Arena Zabalenka. Emma Raducanu, unfortunately, Ben is out. She had some issues in the last Open in Dubai, in Qatar, where she had a stalker and they complained about that. So she has been a shadow of herself. She came into Miami without a coach, played without a coach to the level that players like Tigers were hailing her for playing without a coach. But I think eventually she succumbed to pressure. Yesterday she had to be given ice packs, and then they took her blood pressure because of the game. She fell ill, and then eventually she's knocked out. Under pressure, the pressure is much.
Ted, I think the Miami Open, it's a hot one right now.
It is.
All eyes are fixed on Miami.
Yeah.
And right now, Arthur Fields is playing Jacob.
Yeah.
And we know that it's going to be a tough one.
It is.
But it's like,
I think it's already Fields is 3 sets down.
3 sets down already. So while we keep watching, we'll see what will happen from that end.
Novak has a game much later today with Sebastian Correa. That's a very hard-hitting American. Novak is looking to have his 100th win in Miami. That's a massive record.
Yes.
I mean, not just 100 play appearance in Miami, but win.
He has done very, very well for tennis.
Yeah.
And I think he should be put among one of the legends in tennis.
He already is.
He's already one of
people
the
even think
yes.
after the booing in Australia, Melbourne, the home fans booed him because they paid heavily for tickets and he came. He didn't honor the other Melbourne, the Australia Open, because of there were restrictions the other time to travel because he refused to take a test for COVID.
Yes.
And then he didn't honor it. So the fans didn't like it because they bought expensive tickets anticipated to see him. This time he went, they booed him. When he pulled out of a game because of injury. Trying to safeguard himself. Rafa played with injuries and we'll see the result. How Rafa Nadal ended because of injuries. He couldn't,
So sometimes when you are injured, you have to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Some injuries could be very, very minimal.
Yeah.
But once you play with it, you aggravate it.
Exactly.
And it becomes very, very serious and maybe.
And I think that's what Novak has been trying to avoid. Roger Federer avoided that a lot of times. He chose competitions to go play. And he retired a little healthy. If he wanted to play on, he could have, but of course, age caught up with him. Those are guys who started playing tennis when they were very young. So we heard their names for long, thinking they were old, but they were actually very, very young. You're listening to Speedy Sports on Askin Radio 98.5 Speed FM. My name is Ted and I'm here with Ben. So you can be a part of the program. We're talking about something happening in Kenya in sports. Our hotline in the studio is 080-8427-5464. That's 080-8427-5464. If you join us on that hotline, you could talk about issues around football. Moments of your life is what we do here in sports. Ben, before we talk about the transfer window opening because of the FIFA Club World Cup, there's a scandal ongoing in Kenya that has attracted the eyes of the world about issue of match fixing, which involves a Kenyan goalkeeper, the national team goalkeeper, the number one, and a club goalkeeper as well, who was caught on record, on video, trying to get another player to get involved in a scam and a scheme that he has been known for by those who pay him, trying to let the player know that as soon as he makes a transfer, he will give him a call to make sure that the money has it. And that you have watched the clips of his goals that he concedes when he collects this money for match fixing. And
we are just watching to see what the Kenya FA will do before
it's
it
unbelievable.
Get to CAF and then FIFA, because I saw some of the goals that he considered. It made me laugh.
You know this is deliberate. That's Mr. Patrick Matasi.
He was caught on camera trying to
negotiate
a deal. Let's use the word.
with another player.
Telling the player that I'm going to send you the money once the money gets into your account. You should notify me. And they were talking as if it was a good, nice business that they are doing.
And he said the guy, though he has never failed, the guy has never failed. It's something that has been going on.
That means it's something that has been going on.
Oh man. Have you ever heard of match fixing? Has your team been a victim? Have you suspected any team of your choice? Of course, in football, you went to a part of it sometime.
Ted, some of these things are very, very difficult to prove.
Except evidence like this one that we saw.
I believe just believe. I'm not saying it happens. But I believe even in the Nigerian league, those things happen.
It is possible.
But you cannot prove it. You can't prove it.
So you can't just take it
up. You can't just come and start saying that this thing, and when they bring evidence, you don't have the evidence, so you cannot. But these things, even if it can happen in Europe, it's big money.
Of course, it's a lot of money.
For those guys that bet. It's big money.
The betting rig can actually go extra mile.
There are people that subscribe to some particular people. They know them. They give you, say, sure games. If you subscribe, they send those sure games to you. Sometimes,
and if you go with them, you're
sometimes 2 odds, 3 odds. They can just give you, this game is going to end in draw. I've seen that. I followed it.
And it goes that way.
And it went
that means already knew the result before they
Yes, they will tell you that. That they know the result, but they know that it's going to end in draw.
This is not permutation. This is they're sure.
Yes.
They're very sure that this is it.
So those people, you subscribe to them, right? And you pay heavily. When you pay into their account, they'll give you the games.
And you get your
money. So those things happen. But proving it is the problem.
Man.
So this what is that his name again?
Patrick Matasi.
Matasi is this one. I don't think he is going to be left off the hook, because it's I've seen the videos.
Probably is going to involve other players that he has got.
There was actually a game between Cameroon and Kenya.
When he hit the ball and actually dropped it inside.
He parried the ball into his post. He moved to one side and parried the ball into his post. So it's funny. But let's see how it all.
Don't let Manchester United fans start thinking of Onana.
No.
But I would have said this is common when it comes to Africa, but because we have had evidences of this outside in Europe, there in America, they investigate thoroughly. They go back a lot of stories about you. They check your friends and people, places you go after games. They put up a spy on you to check. Imagine Juve, the entire Juve, the old lady in Turin went down.
When they were
relegated completely. Went down with all the players, the Buffon, the rest of them, Bellini, all of them went. And they played and won the Serie B, and they still came back together before they started dispersing to other teams. And that was crazy. Have you heard of betting and match fixing? Have you been part of it? Ben has witnessed it firsthand. What about you? Of course, we open the phone lines right away. You can talk about us. We talk about the transfer. 080-8427-5464 is the number, the hotline to call. 080-8427-5464. That's the number to call. Ben, the FIFA Club World Cup is around the corner. It's in the month of June. That's 2 months from now, thereabout. Another
big sporting competition.
Why are you calling it big? Because of the money. Since they announced that Infantino announced that money, you have been restless. $1 billion.
It's big because of everything.
The club, the kind of club
even when something is not big,
yeah.
Once the America put their hand on the American sport, it becomes big.
And this is the biggest one. This is the first one that will involve 32 teams.
32 teams in the US.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Being hosted there.
There's going to be the halftime show.
Yeah, okay. That's another big one.
Yes. So there's a lot of adverts. There's a lot of money. You see the money that will be paid to play to the clubs for just the first the win.
Okay, here
how much is
here they say okay at group stage, right?
Yes.
Prize money, the money is allotted to this at group stage. It's 1.5 million euros at the group stage. Matches at the group stage. Yes, that's if you just play. Then if you draw, is 2.2 million euros. If you draw round of 16, if you get to the round of 16, it's 5.8 million euros.
Wow.
If you participate in the round of 16. If you get to the quarterfinals, it's 10.2 million euros, irrespective of the result. Just getting to that stage. If you get to the semi-finals, it's 16.3 million euros. If you get to the final, if you qualify in the finals at all, whether you win or not, it's 23.1 million euros, and the winner goes with 31 million euros.
Ted, I actually wish that
is a lot of money.
A Nigerian club is there.
Funny enough, no.
And
you'll be surprised that in Africa, you'll be surprised to look at the teams. Apart from Mamelodi Sundowns in South Africa, there are 4 teams from Africa that are going. Is Al Ahly FC from Egypt, Esperance from Tunisia, and Wydad Casablanca from Morocco.
Yes, they're not African teams. They are good. Their leagues are good.
None from West Africa.
And they have been performing at the Champions League.
And the criteria for this selection is not out of bias. Al Ahly had CAF Champions League winners 2023-2024. Yes. Esperance of Tunisia CAF ranking pathway by FIFA calculation. Esperance, and then Wydad Casablanca 2022 winners, and then Mamelodi Sundowns by consistency. At the CAF,
yes, I think that is one of the criteria for because if not, clubs like Chelsea wouldn't be there.
Yeah, no, Chelsea in England is because they are looking at winners from the past. So
yes, that is the consistency in the Champions League.
Of course,
that is the consistency in Champions League.
It's a lot of money, and the former winners too. Some have been involved. Of course, 2024 it was Man City, 2023 Real Madrid who are participating as well. 2022 Chelsea, 2021 Bayern Munich. 2020 Liverpool, basically European teams. The only time that an outside team won that was close to this is 2013, which was the Corinthians from Brazil.
Yes.
So apart from those ones, it has been European teams constantly winning. And I'm looking at a situation where teams like what's the name from Japan, Rio, they are participating too from the AFC League.
It's going to be a difficult one. Yeah. And it's because of this that FIFA also created a emergency window.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
The emergency window.
So that these teams who are going will sign
players. And some people are saying that this is an opportunity for Cristiano Ronaldo to also participate. Because Messi is actually playing for Inter Miami. They didn't qualify, but as host. As
host nation.
Yes. So that's true. If Ronaldo is also going to be in that competition, the money that FIFA will make out of that.
To attract a lot.
Yes.
Because ordinarily transfer window is supposed to have opened sometime in June, from 10th to September 1. But now they have opened it from the 1st of June to 10th of June.
10th of June. It will close.
Yeah, it will close and then open again to go at the finish. Whatever. That is to enable clubs that are participating to sign players.
And I think I heard that Real Madrid are also talking about signing
a Trent from Liverpool.
Yes, because of the competition.
Yeah, so that he will participate. Yes. Yeah. So if if what now enabled other clubs to also sign is the fact that if you ask the clubs like Real Madrid, Chelsea, Manchester City to sign, and they are signing, the window is open for them to sign. Where are they signing from? So the clubs that they're signing from should also have that window, that laxity to open, which means the transfer window is open eventually to all.
Yes.
It's not only the clubs participating,
yes,
to all.
all.
But which players, we want to ask you, the listener out there, football fan, if you are, which player do you want to move? Which player do you want to sell out of your club? I know Chelsea fans will have a lot to talk about it. Which player do you want to sell out of your club? Which player do you want to bring in now? Chelsea fans especially have called and have been online to see complaining about their coach and all that, the players that they want to let go. Kevin De Bruyne is a free agent. And so is who is top player that is a free agent now, that's supposed two players that are off the hooks of the clubs. So
I think a team like Man City, they want to build their team, because if you see that Man City is, they are not actually in the top of their game.
But they spent a lot of money when this Arab guys invested.
Yes.
What happened to all that money? He bought every player he wanted,
and he won everything that need to be won.
What are you looking for? Can't you groom guys from your academy to build a new team?
What they wanted, the clubs like Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Now Newcastle have the money now. If you don't know,
yeah, sure.
They are the one that have the money. They even have more than Man City.
They do.
So what is it that is actually their problem now? They want trophies to show for the money. That is what they want, not grooming players. Chelsea have already won all of this before they started grooming players. You understand?
Yeah.
But they need something to give to the fans so that they will have that bragging right. You can't come and start before Man United and you're talking trash. Man United will tell you, this is what we won. Liverpool will tell you, this is what we won. You as a fan, what would you say?
They brag about it. That's what they say. All the Champions League trophies in England of recent are all in London. They always talk about that, which I agree with them anyway. You can't argue less all that. Okay, you can be a part of the program. Call our studio hotlines 080-8427-5464. That's our studio hotline. If you call that line, you'll be live. What player do you want in your team within this short transfer window before the main window opens? Do you think there's need for clubs like Chelsea who are going to participate? They're going to meet very, very tough teams, champions across the world, players you have never met, teams from Brazil, Latin America. When they come, that's why most of these guys, they go with their scouts from Europe. They go with their scouts to watch and match analysts to sit and watch players from those leagues, and then sometimes they conclude some deals at the venues before returning.
Ted, in as much as we talk about this, let's try to bring this thing. So, man, the whole of this thing is not. I'm not just happy with it. I'm not happy in the sense that in Africa, the whole of West Africa, no team. And when you talk of football in Africa, it's between the North Africans and West Africans.
South Africa is taking that over now.
South Africa, when did we start hearing of South Africa in football?
They have invested in it. They have the facilities. They have invested in it. They have the facilities. They have the conducive environment. They have good management.
In the whole of Nigerian Premier League, I think right now, the only club I can beat my chest and say they are doing well, not just in the football, in amenities, administratively, and the young talent is Remo Stars. Yeah,
Remo Stars are doing quite well. If they had started and they were consistent like this, they probably would have been. Remo Stars.
The whole of, especially the government-owned clubs, they are just wobbling and fumbling.
But Ben, let's talk about Manchester City and Chelsea, clubs that are very dear to some of our listeners here. Looking at you have followed Chelsea especially for a very long time. What department do you think they will change that can make them even go to the quarterfinals of this Club World Cup?
I think Chelsea are having a big problem. I cannot.
They have 6 keepers. They have given out how many on loan?
Chelsea. First of all, Chelsea don't have a leader in that squad.
Okay.
That senior man that will organize the team. The other season, I think it was Thiago Silva.
Yeah.
After Thiago Silva left, you can see that there is something. There's a vacuum there. Yeah. When John Terry was there, he was the one that was coordinating. They call him the captain leader, and you understand. Mm-hmm. So that leadership, there's no everybody there. They are just they are just trying that individual talent. You understand? But when you have somebody on the pitch, apart from the coach, coordinating the team from afar, inside the team, within the team, there should be those that will also be coordinating, talking to them. When they are losing, you can tap them up.
Yeah.
When they are down, you can boost their morale.
That figure of a leader.
Then you look at the squad right about now; they are all injured. We used to criticize Jackson. Since Jackson left, who will you talk about? Palmer.
I've never heard of him for long. I think
yes, he has lost form.
Yeah. Was he even called up to the England game against Latvia? I don't think he played. He didn't. Yeah.
No, he has lost form. So Chelsea have a lot to do, and they need experienced players, at least 2-3 in that team. To help coordinate on the pitch. Yeah. All the Chelsea players are within the age of 25 to 28. If I don't think they are up to even 28.
Yeah, there are a lot of young guys. Young guys.
So you need those people that have the experience to spur the team.
So with this huge money, apart from the money that has been invested in by the new owners, which the supporters do not actually like because they criticize them, there was a general protest at that time calling for Roman Abramovich to return on the streets of London, as was shown to us by Sky Sports. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. Welcome to the program. What is your name and where are you calling from?
This is Vanya Wase. I'm calling from Federal Locus, North Bank, Makodi.
Okay, Sesu, go on with your point.
I'm a Chelsea fan.
Okay.
Yes, I want Chelsea to bring in Victor Osimhen.
Okay, that's a big one.
And sell players like Badiashile.
Okay.
Yes, they should sell players like Badiashile and bring in a very good, very well experienced central back.
Okay.
That's where they have problems.
So you're looking at defense and attack. Are you satisfied with the midfield that you guys have?
Yeah.
Because
the midfielders are doing very well.
Okay.
But sometimes when they are injured, they are not enough. The players there.
Replacement, yeah.
People like they are not mature enough.
Okay.
But somebody.
Sorry, so the network has been a little bit. It's not very clear. But if you can call us back, it's fine. We're here to pick your calls. If you want to call us back, number to call again is 08084275464. That's our studio hotlines. If you call, you can talk about your club. The transfer window is going to be open in June, not as long as it was expected, but it will be. Of course, so they're talking about what he wants with his club, Chelsea. He's thinking of defense and he's thinking of your own Victor Osimhen. Ben. This rumor has been on for years. That's the time Mike on his podcast Obi-Wan campaigned for Osimhen, and Didier Drogba on the Ferdinand's podcast as well spoke about the fact that he would talk to Victor Osimhen to come to England.
I think Chelsea are not willing to part with that money.
But if they participate in this competition based on all the monies we call it, what if would they be able to win this 31 million euros?
That's a hard one.
It's tempting.
But one thing we know is that I don't know if Chelsea will be willing to part with that money to bring Osimhen. Everybody knows that Osimhen is a right fit for that for Chelsea. He plays what Chelsea wants. Osimhen is somebody that is dead. Once he says he wants to do something, he will do. You can see it in.
But they are yet to even solidify themselves in the Champions League next season.
That is why they need. That is why they need a player like that. That is why they need the killer instinct. Chelsea doesn't have that killer instinct.
Some players will come to your team if you can assure them that why some of the big players in Chelsea left us when Chelsea no longer qualify for Champions League when they dropped almost going to
no Chelsea most of the players that left Chelsea didn't leave because Chelsea didn't qualify for
no there's always a clause in the contract that will participate at the highest competition.
But those players in Chelsea never, those big players,
that wasn't the reason.
It was a management thing. They said these are the kind of players they want to build.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the kind of team they want to build.
And it's Maresca building in that direction.
So that is why the fans are angry.
Okay.
That is why the fans are angry. We don't know this as Chelsea. We don't know this. That's what the fans are saying. That is under Abramovich.
Yeah.
They know what Abramovich can do.
Yeah.
Abramovich cannot sit down there. You go and bring some some kids and come and say you want them to develop. Once they develop, the likes of Real Madrid, the likes of Real Madrid will carry them. You know.
Yeah, sure.
If you bring a player and he's doing very, very well, likes of Real Madrid will carry them.
You're still listening to Speedy Sports on Skin Radio 98.5 Speed FM. My name is Ted and I'm here with Ben Kuji. You can reach us on our studio hotline 080-8427-5464. That's 080-8427-5464. You can look for Skin Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makodi on Facebook and drop your comments. We'll give them a voice. Ben, you are not happy that of all this money, millions of euros, is only going to all the money, and every club going actually is already guaranteed. These clubs that are selected are guaranteed of getting money from Infantino, that he said, apart from the participation fee that we called. So Al Ahly are coming back richer, Esperance of Tunisia coming back richer, Wydad Casablanca coming back richer, and Mamelodi Sundowns coming back richer. How do you think these monies will affect the leagues, that is the local leagues of this particular clubs?
It means some of these clubs right now will start dominating the African Champions League. That's what it simply means. Like the way Real Madrid is dominating Champions League. Take it or leave it. It is the money that Real Madrid has that is making Real Madrid to dominate. Europe, take it or leave it. They will say financial fair play. All those ones is just by the way.
It's judged by your capacity.
You understand? So Real Madrid is, every player wants to play for Real Madrid.
Yeah. Because they have the muzzle.
They have the muzzle, and they can assemble any team they want to assemble. You understand?
Yeah.
So this is what will happen.
Okay.
If such players, if Mamelodi Sundown decide to come back and build their league, bring one player from Nigeria, bring one from Senegal.
They can buy any player within the cap that they want.
Yes, and maybe add them with their own player. You know what they'll be playing.
I agree with you. You're listening to Speedy Sports on Skin Radio 98.5 Speed FM Makodi. My name is Ted and I'm here with Benny Kuji. As we wrap up, we want to let you know that tomorrow will be thorough X-ray of the match fixing scandal in Kenya. We're going to relate that to other match fixing issues that generally in sports, not just football, in sports that have been happening, have been covered, some uncovered by Interpol. Yeah, they're investigating some leagues across the world, starting from Japan, the Japanese league. As honest as they are, some people have infiltrated that league to create some issues of match fixing and all that, and then we'll get all the way to the United States. So prepare for FIFA Club World Cup. Calls could not come here as we expected, but of course tomorrow we'll be here again the same time. If you just tune in to the dial, you're going to find us right here. Ben, final words?
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a nice weekend ahead.
All right, so do have a great evening. Good night, sports fans.
This is
Asking Radio 98.5 FM.
Oye, déjame curarte este mal de amores. Me duele verte llorar. Oye, te trata mal, yo te traigo flores. Dame una oportunidad. Él te jura un falso amor, es un abusador. Juega con tu corazón, sabes decir que no. La ilusión, el tiempo ni la razón.